co-op. What is it called? Aesthetic timer. There we go. Hello, everyone. I'm sure you're watching now. I'm a hot mess today, so don't mind me. There we go. Got it set up. But thanks for joining the Sassy Romance Chats podcast. We're doing a live show today. Woo!
Yay!
Mostly, Tara has, she's taking a week off, right? You took a week off, and
yeah.
I'm obviously always home. And so we were like, we want to hang out during the day, and like, why not do it with friends? So I know that most of you in America anyway won't also have this week off, but I'm sure some of my UK and Asian friends are here too. So just say hi to us, and we're going to do a couple of these. We'll see how we feel. But as you pop in, yeah, Megan, I was hoping you'd be here. I just got my book, Megan. Thank you. It's so pretty. Just literally 10 minutes before we started. It's so pretty.
We were admiring it.
I know. It has a very spicy photo inside that I did not know about. And I was like, whoa. I don't know if that's what Carter's dick looks like in my head, but anyway. Yeah. So yeah. And as you pop in, just tell us what you're going to read. We'll chat for a little bit. We'll try not to chat too long. Like I did the last reading sprint. So I talked the whole time and then we didn't start a sprint. But you just spun your wheel. What did you get? And do you want to read the thing that you got?
I did. And I got contemporary. So I don't think I'm going to read contemporary. The one that I had in my head was Our Way by T.L. Swan, which I've had in my Kindle for like 5 years, I think.
Yeah.
But now I'm back in my fanfic folder, and I just.
Well, so you just put the genre on there?
Yeah. Oh. I didn't have time to put in like the books. So I was like,
you have to rush. I was like, you should put the books in there. That's because that doesn't help you. You have 500 fanfics to choose from.
I know. But I did specifically have in my mind that one that you've told me about, the
the
flat next door.
Flat next door.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I vote for that. You should do that. You're gonna love that Lucius so much.
Yeah.
He's just a big squish.
Ooh, love.
The best. I love a good squish.
Okay, God of Wrath. Is that the same? I feel like you posted a Instagram post.
Okay. It is. Megan and I are both reading. I was rereading it. She's reading it. And so we were talking about it the other day where she was like, I thought it was just me that I hate this one. And I was like, no, I don't like that one. It's such an odd, it's some of people's favorites. So I don't want to continue to bash. I'll bash it on my weekly wrap up so people can skip that if they want. But it just feels like a rock in the middle of the series to me because I love the first two. And then Jeremy just doesn't make any sense to me. Like I did like the heroine better the second read, which then made me dislike him even more because I liked her more this time. Yeah. And he's such a jerk to her and not in the psychopath way. Like he's just a jerk. And that doesn't work for me. Mm-hmm. And also the heroine's dad is so sweet. Like I would not let a man treat me that way if my daddy was like that. Like I just want to say like I wouldn't be up for that stuff. But it also has Primal Kink in it, which is one of my favorites. And so I was very excited for that book. And then Jeremy just didn't work for me. He just didn't work for me. But then now I get to read The Twins is the next two. And I love those. So I'm glad I reread them. I'm rereading the whole series and it's good. But that book just, it stands out to me. I don't know. But that's okay. Not every characters are going to work for you. You're reading A Wife for the Lighthouse Keeper. Oh, I've heard of that one. I've seen that one around for sure. That's awesome. Hello, Tabitha. You are reading Between Never and Forever by Britt Benson. Cool. Love it. Alexis, you're reading or just finished Across State Lines by Lauren Beale. Oh, Lauren Beale scares me. You're a brave soul. I am scarred after reading Hitched. That scarred me forever. Hi, Ruth. Hello. You're listening to Flame and Shadow, or you're going to read The Fake Out. Love it. Lisa, you got 200 pages left. The or of Dragonfly, sorry. The middle was rough to read. It was. So like everyone who's reading it the first time, and there's a few, especially in like the comments on Discord, who are like, this book is difficult. I like have liked it better every time I've read it, but the first time for me it took so long because you just don't know where it's going. Of course, if you never read it, you don't know. But when I reread that book, there's so much like character building that happens to Jamie and Claire. You like, it's an essential part of who they are, and it like deepens so much that they go through together. So I'm not disagreeing that it isn't difficult. Of course, we'll talk about it on the live show, but I think that upon reread, and you know, that's the conversation we have in those book clubs, is those of us who are rereading and those who it's the first time, is that there are so many things that are better on reread than the first time. But when you're reading a 700-page book, if it's a slog no matter what. Hi, Jenn, you're reading Dragonfly and Amber. Sweet. This is your first time reading. Oh, that's amazing. I know everybody was talking about it this week because they just started filming the last season. So,
Yeah.
But we still have a few years to go. You're reading The Escape by Mary Ballard. Ooh, that's a good one. So is God of Wrath still worth reading? Oh, yes, Alexis. I mean, I think maybe you put that up before I answered. I don't know, but it's 1 out of 5 books. I've loved all the others. So 1 and 2, very solid. 3, didn't care for it that much. 4 and 5, loved it. And the 6th one's coming out. So yeah, it's absolutely still worth it. And you might like it. Like, my opinion on dark romance men is very nuanced because sometimes they're the toxic that I like, and sometimes they go too far, and then I don't. And how could an author know what will push one person too far and what will work for other people? They can't. That's the character that Rena Kent wanted to write, and it works for a lot of people. So, hi, Komal. Oh my goodness. Dragonfly and Amber, love it. You're reading Stay With Me. Oh, I really want to read Alexandria House this year for sure. And you're reading Say You Swear. I have been wanting to try to read that one. It was on my TBR for this month, but I don't think it's going to happen. I might get the audiobook for it though. But okay, so you're going to try The Flat Next Door.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. I am going to continue listening to Lana Perchek, the what is it? A War of Ruin and Reckoning. I just have a couple hours of it left. But I'm going to be cross-stitching. Today I'm working on, have this little truck that I'm working on. It's so cute. So I'm going to be cross-stitching while I listen to that. Book 9 in the series, so I won't talk about it too much, but can't wait to discuss it. Yep, it gets worse continuing the Ride or Die series. Oh my gosh, they are. They're too dark for me. You're reading Bury Me by Annie Anderson. Like it. And do you have to read the parents' books? You do not. You absolutely don't. And I would tell you if you did. And some people might say you do, but from my opinion, I didn't, because I haven't. I've read a couple of the parents' books because I read her before, but I don't remember anything about the parents' books. And I've loved this series. Loved it. It's been great. Audiobooks, highly recommend the audiobooks. Fantastic. I don't think He Who Shall Not Be Named. I don't know if he does any of those ones. I don't think so. Actually, don't know. That would be funny if he did this one, though. But I don't think he did. The one I didn't like. Anyway. Okay. Well, cool. We're going to jump right in. Look at, we did so good in under 10 minutes. Because I actually want to get through some stuff and not just talk the whole time, which I will absolutely do if you tempt me even a little bit. But let's see how well we do. So I got our timer ready. We'll do 40 minutes for this one. And then, it will make a bird sound when it comes back. So don't let it scare you. If you have cats nearby, or be prepared. And we'll be back in 40 minutes.
Happy reading.
Whee! Spooky. Hi.
Loved it.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I know. Lucius is so cute in that one.
Yes.
Hi, friends. Hey, Amber. You're maybe not still watching anymore. This was a little bit ago. Hi, Taylor. Finishing through the Glen, and this could be us. Nice. Got some good ones. Yeah, mine's good. I said this when I read what's it called? Castle of Never and Nightmares, that I thought I was missing stuff. And I definitely was. She said it was a new spin-off series, and like I guess it is, but I just felt like there was distinctly some things that I hadn't read yet, and they're in this one. So I do stand by either read the Fae Guardian series first, like read all of them, or else just read the spin-off first and then there's the other mailman. I might end up getting a buzz. I don't think I have a package today, but I also might. So if I get a buzz, it'll happen. But anyway, I mean, it's good. I love the audiobooks for this series, and I love Fated Mates and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Hi, Amanda. You are only 200 pages in. You don't have much faith that you'll finish it. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of pages, but I mean, just being honest, there's a lot of war stuff that you can probably skim if you want. That's what I do. I mean, granted, I've read it 3 times, so I can skim what I want, but there's a lot of battle stuff that honestly the show does a pretty good job showing, because I don't particularly care to read about the battles, but got to get to the juicy Jamie and Claire stuff. So, but yeah, otherwise, like mine, I can't really like talk about mine because it's the 9th book in a series, so I don't have much.
Yeah.
To be,
I mean,
whatever. I like the couple in this one, and the heroine has a very interesting connection to people we've seen before in the series, so that was kind of cool. I was like, ooh, didn't know about that. But otherwise, yeah. Pretty excited for some arcs that I got, though, that I'm making myself finish this one. But I did get Flurry, which is supposed to be the MMF hockey romance with the coach's daughter and 2 of the players. So excited to read that one. And then I also got The Veteran, who is an older player on the team, and it's a single dad. These are separate series. I have 2 hockey series, but this other one is called The Veteran. It's by an author I've never tried before. Both of these are actually authors I haven't read before. So
nice.
Yeah, this year I've been wanting to read more new authors. I think I've done pretty good. I've got quite a list so far.
Yeah, definitely. I think you did a video not that long ago, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was a few months ago, but yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was just earlier this year from the ones I read last year, basically. The ones that I liked anyway, right?
Yeah.
Out of it. But yeah, that'll be good. I do also have that one I showed. I don't know if I showed it here, but I do have this Malevolent one too. This is an arc technically. So I'm going to try to read it, but I didn't promise that I would read this one before it came out, because it's supposed to be a why choose, like with sword crossing in it, but not in this book. So I'm not in too much of a hurry. Like she told me it was a why choose, and I was like, I don't really want any why choose. And she's like, well, it's going to have sword crossing. And I was like, okay. But not in this book. So I'm not like super urged to like read this one until I have the next ones, maybe.
Is that book 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the series just started. So it's cool though. I mean, I definitely want to read it. I just maybe want to wait until I can read more afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
That's something I like to do. But, yeah.
I was gonna say this Lucius is, he's very sweet. I was kind of like worried that like it was gonna be too different, that it wouldn't feel like him,
Oh yeah,
but it still does.
it definitely does.
And he's a grandpa.
I mean, you can tell the people about it. I know about it, but tell the viewers about it.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, I mean, I'm literally like 5% in. I just started it, but it's a alternate universe. There's no magic. Like they're muggles, but like the characters' names are still the same. So Lucius, it opens with him talking about the fact that he just got divorced because Narcissa cheated on him. He had been like with her for like 27 years, and he's an author. Seems like he's a pretty successful author, and he, in lieu of his divorce, moved into a flat that was like an old billionaire's mansion that he like renovated into a bunch of flats. And so he hears this like thumping, and he's pissed because he had been so happy with this like had been his like, you know, place of peace amidst his divorce and everything. And now it's ruined because his neighbor, who had previously been very quiet, he can hear them banging away at night, having sweet sex with someone. And he thinks it's a dude. He thinks his neighbor's a guy, the way that he's talking about it. And he's like, because the next morning, he sees a woman kind of skipping away down the hall after leaving a note saying, please don't slam your door at 1:30 in the morning. It's very rude. People are trying to sleep. And he's like, what? You were literally keeping me awake all night with your sexual gymnastics. Yeah. So, but he also liked what he saw, which was only the back of her, but he just cannot get her out of his head. And he's still in the mindset that this is not his neighbor. This is like the woman that his neighbor was with. So, yeah. So the part that I'm at, Draco just came by with his wife, who's named Katie in this, and his son, who's still named Scorpius. And so we're just seeing like Grandpa Lucius. Being adorable. So I'm really
and Draco like encouraging him to date and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's no magic. They're not wizards or anything. They're just regular ass people. But Lucius is my favorite, and I needed to get back to him. So I like bad boy Lucius, but I also like the sad broken Lucius too. I like that. Yeah, definitely.
Yep, that one's a fun one. It's kind of like a rom-com at some point. So
yeah, I had that Bunny book by Layla Faye opened when we started. I was like, should I read this? And I was like, no, I'm gonna wait till like the weekend when it's actually Easter to get fully immersed in the.
Right. There are only so many like Easter, erotica.
Yeah.
So might as well save it for the occasion,
Yeah, because that's what Easter is all about. Definitely.
I know,
right? Yeah. So
real good stuff. So
yeah.
Let's see here. Listening to Outlander soundtrack enhances the experience. Oh yes. Bear McCreary is amazing. I actually have a bunch of the soundtracks because I have all the like special edition of the Blu-rays, and they put the soundtrack like in some of them, which is funny because like who uses a CD anymore? But they're in there.
I was listening to like a Celtic pub playlist the other day when I was reading, because I was reading Madness of Lord Ian McKenzie.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is perfect. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Yeah, our new episode's out on Thursday, guys, and we did Highlander romance. So
good.
That was really fun. Oh, I was going to mention that. So, I had tried to find a like modern Highlander one and I couldn't. And this isn't necessarily modern, but I'm rereading A Hunger Like No Other and the Lycae are all Scottish.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, that's right. And they like live in the Highlands too. So I was like, I knew that I had like read something, but I mean, you know, it's not a modern one or anything, but it's also.
Oh yeah, because they end up there.
Yeah.
And that, okay.
Mm-hmm. That's where his castle is.
Yes.
And he's been like, guys, man, I haven't read that book. It's been 4 years since I read it. Such a brutal beginning to that book.
Yeah.
And also he's just so like, he's so cruel to her.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And he's also crazy. Like he's literally mad. He'd been being burned alive for 150 years. You wouldn't exactly be rolling with all your cylinders or anything.
Yes.
But it was funny to go back and be like, oh my gosh. I mean, my favorite is Lothair, and he's literally like way worse than Lachlan, but it's still weird to go back to the beginning because I'm a little like desensitized to Lothair because he is the villain. Like Lachlan isn't a villain. He's just been abused and burned alive and tortured for 150 years. So he doesn't start out as Prince Charming, and you know, it takes some time to get there. So it's weird to see, you know, especially to see someone like treat their fated mate that way. It's tough when that happens.
I think it was you talking about Lothair that made me want to read that series.
Oh yeah.
And that's like book like 9 or something. It's like way down there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like book 10. Yep.
Yeah.
But how many? You still need to read those.
I've only read the first one. I've only read one.
You only read the first one, and like in my opinion, that's like the weakest one.
Really?
Yeah, they get way better than that. I mean, I love it. I love rereading it, but like they get way better than that.
I mean, I have every intention of reading more of them.
Yeah.
I was just gonna look up and see like whose like story was next, because there was a couple.
Yeah, I believe Bowen is next. And that starts the Great Race. That starts the Column High, and it's this magical, amazing race. And the next like 3 books all take place during Column High, but like so they all overlap each other. Okay. But Bowen is part of Lachlan's clan, I believe, and you compete in the Column High to win. You win a wish or a prize or something like that. You win a prize. And sometimes it's really good. And Bowen traps his mate in a cave with succubi or incubi. I can't remember which. And she curses that he'll never be able to regenerate anymore for having like locked her in there. So he locks her in this cave with these, you know, awful creatures, and then continues on with his race or whatever. And then he has to go and get her out because she'd cursed him with that. That might not be book 2. That might be book 3. I don't know. They all, like I said, they all take place at the same time. So
yeah,
maybe I'm even thinking about number 3. I don't know. But the one with Bowen and Mariquetta, that one is also like. But anyway, that's why. Okay, for me, Cressley Cole is the standard of enemies to lovers. I always will say this because she writes these where the characters are completely diametrically opposed in either like the type of being that they are, or in an oath that they've made, or in them just being like, you know, don't believe that they'll have one. And so you so fully believe that it can never work out.
Yeah.
And she makes it work out. And that to me is the beauty of a romance story. It's so powerful. So, but she does that, like other people try to do what she does and they very rarely can pull it off, because to make you believe that they actually hate each other and that they're fated mates, and it's like the things that they sometimes do to each other, it's just crazy. And that's something that like Lothair actually says in his book, is he doesn't believe she's his mate. And part of the reason he won't believe she's his mate is he's like, if she's my mate, I've destroyed her. Like, she can't, you know, so part of his like not believing it is also like, she can't be my mate because she'd never forgive me for what I've done. So she can't, you know.
Yeah.
But that happened. Lothair is not the first or only one who does that at all. Like, they all do it. And that's what makes it powerful. But anyway, ramble about that forever. Yes, thank you, Megan. They all take place at the same time, except for the first one. The next, like, they're all at the same time. So I confuse them because when you then start book 4 or whatever, like Bowen and them are off doing the race, even though you already know they have a happily ever after. So they all are on top of each other. But then there's the one that's the ghost one, where she was in the 1920, I think she's in the 1920s, and she was murdered. And so she haunts her house. And then one of the vampire brothers, they lock him in this house to dry him out, and to dry him out from drinking the blood that he does. And she haunts that house. And she's his mate somehow. So
I just
like
remember
those romances, and I like that one.
Yeah. I remember like reading when I was reading book 1, it was actually like the Valkyries that I really like wanted their stories, like those characters. And I know that because then I went through like the whole series and like,
because she told me this, book 2 is a Valkyrie. That one's a Valkyrie.
Okay.
Pretty positive she is. Because then, Mariquetta isn't, but then there's a lot of Valkyries. I mean, they're important. So yeah, like Regan gets one, and Lucia, and they all, Katarina the Pure, is that her? I don't know. Their names are all like whatever, but yes, we need to reread. Although when I think we haven't had like in the current, like we haven't had a Valkyrie in a while. Like they're in like kind of the beginning. The Valkyries are, because there's a Phantom, there's a like Fae of some kind. There's like we haven't had a Valkyrie in a while, and I think it's because, my opinion, those of you who are watching, you know what I'm talking about. There's like 2 main Valkyries left that we want their stories, and they're gonna be the heavy hitters. And I think that's why we haven't had a Valkyrie in a while, because there's still stuff she's trying to line up. Because like, I mean, Nyx, she's already said will be the last one, so we won't get her. And then like Fury, like we know who Fury's going to be with, but she's in the bottom of the ocean somewhere. So like, yeah, once those 2 happen, like that, I feel like those will be like the end of when it happens. So I'm not in a rush for us to get them, but also she is 18 books in. Like, it's okay if we start moving towards it. Fine. I'd be okay with it. You know, they've all been fantastic. So, you know, I'd love to see what else she wants to do too. That's something that she's, you know, until she's done with this series, no one's really gonna give up on her getting that out to us, you know. So maybe she wants to write other stories and everything. It's been a long time. So
anyway, she's written like quite a few popular contemporaries too, hasn't she?
No, there's just the contemporary one is the Mafia series, but then the others are historical.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah, then there was historical. So she has historical. She has like a YA/new adult, like paranormal series. That's the Poison Princess series. That series she just wrapped up, and then there's Mortals After Dark. So, which I haven't tried to read that series, but I do have the first 2 books. I just haven't tried reading those ones. But yeah, there's those books. And then, yeah, I believe the only contemporaries are the Game Makers, I believe. So, yeah. Okay, well, let's throw in another sprint so that I don't talk the whole time away. But yeah, let's do it.
Perfect.
Boop, boop.
I'll get back to Lulu.
Yes. Enjoy. Get to some good stuff. Yeah. Hello.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, someone just finished a book. Me.
Oh, yay. Oh, hi, friends. Go back. Oh, you're reading The Professional. Nice. Nice. I haven't read those in a long time. Hi. Nice to see you, Nauru. Glad you can make it. Reading Wild Love. Yep. I know. That one's waiting for me. I can't start with April books yet. I still have 2 March ones to go. Just finished. Yay. It does go by quick. My book, they're like, battle just started, so it was very intense. And I was like, oh my goodness. Stressed me out. How's yours doing?
Really good. So Hermione just came over to bring him like a welcome to the building basket.
Yeah.
And realized that his bedroom is like, his apartment is like a mirror image of hers. So she's
very embarrassed.
Yeah, very embarrassed. But yeah, it's really good. I'm really, really liking it.
Yeah.
I knew you wouldn't steer me wrong.
I know. That one's a fun one.
Yeah.
Linda. Oh, Linda, did you get the audiobook of that, Linda, or are you just reading it? I just got the audiobook of the Project Duke. Sorry, I couldn't get it. That one will be fun. Yeah. No, mine, they're having their final battle of everything, so we'll see though, because there's still 3 more books to this series, so I'm sure there'll be something setting it up still. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because we got the season of The Crow left. Yeah, trying to like work up to. I need to start the Empire of the Damned, but I'm scared, so I don't know when I'll get to it. I don't.
Why are you scared of that one?
Well, because it's not a romance, so.
Oh, yeah.
Jay Kristoff doesn't pull any punches, so that's why I'm scared. Last time it was pretty painful. It's also very like pretty gory too, which I'm not. That's not me.
Yeah.
I don't like the gory stuff, but yeah. So I'll gotta get in the mood for it. Hopefully not wait till next October to read it.
I can usually handle gore. It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. I can handle violence. I can't handle like illness gore. I don't like that.
Yeah. It's pretty lots of scary vampires in this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah. It's good stuff though. It's really well told story. The first one, it was super like riveting. I was into it, but it also was like, it hurt.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those where he's like telling the story to someone and he's alone and old and sad. And so when you find out he had a wife and a kid, you're like, well, this isn't going to go well because you're alone and sad now.
No.
Unless it's all a trick. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know where he's taking it. I wish I'd had time to reread the first one. There was just no way in heck that was going to happen because it's too big of a book to just reread just because. But
yeah,
I might have to watch a review of it or something.
Yeah.
But let me see this. Started The Professional on audio, but you just got The Witch Queen of Halloween. Yeah, that'll go fast though, Jennifer. It's only 200 pages. It'll go fast. Sophia, I didn't hear what you were reading.
Sophia, I just started The Flat Next Door by, who is this by? It's a Lucius Hermione fanfic, and it is like an alternate universe. There's like no magic. They're just regular people.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to can't see the author's name. Smith and Bar something. I don't know. But it's really good. It's really cute. It's like charming. It's kind of cozy, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's going to be steamy because even before they've gotten together, Lucius is having some very graphic moments.
It wasn't like too much. I mean, I know we wouldn't think it was too much, but I mean, it doesn't just become like a porn one like they do sometimes.
Oh yeah,
like it has a pretty good like story to it too. So yeah, you guys who are listening, I finished last night. I took a little break from all my homework books, and I read a Charlie, Victor, and Hermione. I read. And it was an Omegaverse, and it was really fun. That one was basically just horny, but it was great. Yeah, that one was fun.
Okay, whenever I hear people talk about Omegaverse, like I don't like it's basically like a trope, right? Like for a long time I thought it was like a specific series or something like that, but it's just like,
well, it's a type of paranormal.
Okay.
Yeah. Or I mean they're in sci-fi sometimes, but like they're a type of like paranormal thing. Okay. So usually paired with like werewolf stuff, although there are other types of creatures that will be, but it's generally a type of like lupine sort of thing. But yeah. And there's heats and knots and breeding and all that stuff. So.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't like a lot of people read the like Catherine Moon has multiple series that are the Omegaverse stuff, like her Sweetverse ones that are Lola and the Millionaires and like those Baby and the Late Night Howlers. Those ones are Omegaverse reverse harem ones. She has a few of those, but I have found I prefer that it's still just like a fated mate, like one-on-one. But this was like I said, this was an exception. But I've read, like All You Want. I said like All You Want is an Omegaverse by Sinlin Yu. And there was that Sirius and Hermione one I read that was Cherry Mint was another Draco and Hermione one. So those were ones that are just basically they're a one-on-one situation. So I like those better because if it's not going to be MMF, I don't really want it. And like this one wasn't, as I said, this one wasn't MMF, but I liked their dynamic. I like the dynamic between Charlie and Victor in it because they're literally like kind of like brother husband type vibes going, like we're both here to like serve you type of stuff. And because of the type of, she was a suppressed Omega, like she was, I mean, there was literally there was a tiny bit of side plot that popped up that I wasn't expecting where like Dumbledore's actually like the villain who's been dosing the kids this whole time to prevent them from like being Omegas and stuff because he thinks it's gross that they like give in to I'm just making, he thinks it's below wizard kind for them to still be doing this. So yeah, all the kids at Hogwarts have been being dosed by this. But Hermione's like busts through because the Drumstrang come, like the Russian and the Beauxbatons come because they're doing the Triwizard Tournament in this one, and they're all like out and like they're all wolves, and it like everybody who has the potential at this school starts like their bodies start fighting to start, whether they are Omegas who are looking for alphas or whether they're like other alphas who are feeling challenged by the Drumstring. So they don't know what, but anyway, you find out that like it was Dumbledore who was doing it, which was but because she's been being suppressed, she has her first heat like a million times harder. So she literally needs like 2 alphas to be able to handle her. Because they're literally like exhausted. Like I love that shit. I love that stuff.
All right, I'm sold.
Yeah, that one was like that. That one reminded me kind of the Spock and Kirk one that I read, because that's kind of what happened in that one too. Is that he's basically asexual, except once every 7 years he has like a heat or whatever, and so he spends many years just like pleasuring Kirk all the time, and then when it's his heat, like literally Kirk has to like practically have an IV to make it through. So that one was fun, but. Yeah, but it was cute. I mostly picked that one because I have a lot of long ones saved and I just needed like a short one. But as soon as I like open my fanfic folder, I just want to read them. So, and I do have one that I have to read this month. So if I want to read one, I need to stop reading other ones and I need to read this one. Because it's a big one. I have a big one that I need to read. So I need to get started with that.
You're doing like a group read, right? Or something? Yeah.
Yeah. So that one is huge and I should get started on it. I will get started on it, but I just wanted a little short one. But then I read that and I'm like, oh, I want more.
Yeah.
I
have so many on my Kindle now that I think did you do this? Someone showed me, but I have like folders for each couple.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one for every couple. As well as a folder that is if it's multiples. And then I have a folder that has all of my non-Harry Potter in, which I only have like 5. I have like 5 that I haven't read yet that aren't.
Yeah.
I think I've said this, like I have one that I'm waiting for a rainy day that is it's a Bella and Carlisle one.
Ooh.
And it's just waiting for me. And I like in this one, like it's like, yeah, obviously like Esme doesn't exist in this one because that would be sad. But
yeah,
I found that one when I was first looking and I've like saved that one and I really want to try that one, but I'm not ready yet. Someday I will. Honey said, you read North and South. Oh, I love. And Bound to a Warrior. These are good times. Why didn't I talk about Bound to a Warrior? Oh, I failed. I failed us all. That's okay.
For
Highlander.
Oh, is that Highlander? I have it on my shelf and I was like, can I read this for Highlander? But I didn't.
Yeah, they definitely are. I should have done that. Do you have any Luna and Neville? I do not have any Luna and Neville, my friend. Yeah, I don't. I don't. I don't know who would. Might have to check on Instagram and like check that out because I have not read a single one. I've read Luna with Snape and I've read Neville with Hermione, but I'm just being honest. I don't have a ton of interest to read like Luna and Neville if they were on their own, just for me. So I haven't read any of them because that's not a couple that I'm looking for. Hey, Bex. So yeah. But I mean, I bet there's some really sweet ones. I'm not saying that for sure. I'm just, usually I need a bad boy in there somewhere. But I've read 2 Luna and Snape that like pretty much made me cry. Like they're so beautiful. Because Snape is like broken and then like Luna is very like healing type of person. So, yeah, honey, I don't have the name right off the top of my head, but I think if you go to my fanfic playlist, I talked about those in the last 10 fanfic I read. I think it's in there. Otherwise, I'll look it up a different day and share it with those. But yeah, I read 2 different Luna and Snapes that were really cute because with Luna and Snape, there isn't a like enemies to lovers situation. Like Hermione, it's almost always an enemies thing with Snape, right? Usually, or it's a dark one. But Luna's so sweet. She's nobody's enemy. Like you can't even pretend to make that. So it's usually you have broken, sad Snape, and then like Luna is like helping revitalize him. So I love that. And then I mean, I say I've read a Neville and Hermione. I've read the one, which is one of my favorites, but I have another one on my Kindle. Safe Word is Devil's Snare is just top tier, and I never tried any other ones.
Is that? I thought that was the Draco and Hermione one.
No. Safe word is Devil's Snare?
Yeah.
No, it's Neville and Hermione. Yeah. That was one of the first ones that I read, too.
I know. I've seen all of it. I think I just assumed.
Yeah, no, it's literally right here. Yeah, this one's Neville. Yeah. So it's amazing. Neville's a little dummy in there. It's just great.
Oh, Neville. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's a marriage law one. So, and Neville's like, I mean, I like you, but you should know I like it a little bit kinky. So if you don't want to marry me, I understand. And Hermione's like, oh, okay, let's try it out.
I'm down.
Yeah, that one's great. I love it. I should reread that sometime. I haven't read that in a long time, but yeah, I have just been collecting fanfics like crazy. And I need to start working them in again. I need to give myself the space to do it, but I usually just wait so long and then I pop and I'm like, I'm going to read them right now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, when we're done with this, I'm going to finish the Fae Guardians because I'm almost done. And then I'll go into one of my arcs that I have. And if I can read that today, then I can read something that I want to. And I see that I want to read the arcs that I have. I just mean I have a deadline with the arcs, whereas,
yeah,
there are arcs that I'm excited to read. Don't get me wrong. I asked for them. I'm excited. But when I get to the end of the month, I have, read all the books that I have to read. And I just want to read, like I still have 3 patron books to do too. Oh, I forgot about those. I forgot to do those too. But I can't read those in bed because I have to annotate them. So it's like I'll do my work during the day, and then when I get in bed, I can read whatever I want. So,
I always want to ask you, when you're searching, like, so say for example, who was asking about the Neville Luna?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if they were searching on AO3, for example, and obviously you put in like the relationship, English, finished works, all those kind of things. But at the very bottom when it says sort by, does it make it more likely that you're going to get like a higher quality fic if you sort it by like kudos or comments? Or I think there's like one other thing that I always think like, oh, maybe I should sort it by this. Do you find that?
I don't use those. No.
Oh, okay.
I never use it because I don't necessarily want to limit it to ones that are popular or not.
Fair.
Because some of the best ones I found, nobody knows about them.
Yeah.
So I don't. I mean, especially when I'm looking for very niche couples, like just being real, like it's hard to find some Lucius and Hermione ones. Like there aren't as many as you think, and to find like Sirius and Hermione, there's not that many of them. When I look for what's the other couple? Oh, like when I was looking for any Weasleys with her.
Yeah.
It's so hard to find. So I don't do anything to limit it, except I do like more than 10,000 words, because there are tons where people just write a scene, which is great, but I don't want to find those ones. So really the only things that I will do it by is I do finished work and I do how many words it will be. Like I usually want it to be over 10,000 words.
Right.
But yeah, I want to be able to trust in unfinished works, but I just don't. I can't do it. I know I want to encourage people to keep writing, but not that much. I've been burned before. I'm still waiting for a fic that I absolutely adore. And she puts up one chapter like every couple months. She said she's finishing it by the end of this year though, because she has a chapter number decided.
Okay.
But she's like, yeah, it should be finished by the end of 2024. And I'm like, I've already been reading this one for 2 years.
Yeah.
Because it was before I was young and dumb and didn't know to sort by finished. So I'm just waiting. But again, because of like trying to find some Lucius and Hermione ones that are good, that I really excited for, I did look for unfinished works, but I didn't try to read them. I just put them I just bookmarked them.
Yeah.
And I actually just had like 2 got finished that I'd had, because at the beginning of the year, I put like 6 or 7 up, and then once a month I'll go in and see if any of them now have a check mark.
Yeah.
And there are a few that did. Like, have I read one yet that was? I don't think that I did. But they like get finished. And is What Passed Is Prologue, is that one just recently finished?
I'm
Or is that
not
one old?
sure. I mean, it was finished when I read it, but
No, well, yeah, but I wonder if that one recently finished. Else it's another one by that author, because I had put a bunch of her, because she writes a lot of Lucius and Hermione, or they do. And
I think she writes only Lucius and Hermione. Yeah. And I've loved I think I read 3 of hers, 2 or 3 of hers.
Yeah, because I put them all, the one that was unfinished, I put it in that, because she also had a chapter ender for that one. So who knows? Because I've been doing this for like a while too. I just had forgot to check back. I forgot to check back to see if it was done. And that's when the one that I'm waiting on, Be My Baby, she had written 5 more chapters, because it had been a year. Like, it'd been a year since I checked.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, there's more chapters. Holy crap. I like put it on that list and I forgot to look. And then, now I've been checking every month though, and she hasn't put any more up. So I was like, well, I mean, I'm glad I forgot about it for a year, so more of it could get written. Let me see here. I'm also down for Harry and Hermione. Oh yeah. My book club, we're actually going to read I think it's a Harry and Hermione. I think we're reading a Harry and Hermione for my book club. Maybe I'm wrong. We're doing a Harry and Drake? No. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I've thought about looking them up. There's one, that's what I was thinking of. Mel just read one that was a Harry and Hermione, and she did like a cover for that one. That looked cute. Friends to Lovers is what that one would be. So yeah. I mean, I'd be down for it, because I've read some great Harry. Usually I read great Harry when he's paired with Draco. That's when I've read. My favorite Harry have been some MM ones, but yeah, there was one where Harry was like a dom in that one, and that was good. That was a good one. But yeah, and then there was the one that it was Ginny, Harry, and Draco. There was a MMF that I read too that I liked. So
I would love to. I don't even know if this exists. It probably does exist somewhere, but like a Neville Draco.
Probably. I've read the Neville Snape. I've read the Neville and Snape one. Yeah, that was the headmasters something. Yeah, that one was a naughty one. That one was good, because it takes place during 6th year when he's 7th year when he's the headmaster. That's what happens. So yeah, Neville's trying to like get information from him, because he thinks that he's bad still, right? So yeah, that's good. No, I definitely would be down for some Harry and Hermione. I'll have to look. In this case, I would actually be willing to read if like Hermione cheated on Ron with Harry. That could be fun in a fanfic. That would be fun. I don't like reading cheating, but I'm okay if Ron gets cheated on usually.
I feel like you could write that, like, was it in the first Deathly Hallows or whatever, where Ron leaves and they're like in the tent?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is that one another way?
How are you liking your reread of the Hunger Games? Oh, we never did that, Honeylay. I'm sorry. We never did that. Crystal wanted to, but she had to kind of step away from YouTube this year. And it was going to be, some of us were going to do it. So I did not reread Hunger Games. I mean, I love Hunger Games, but we didn't end up doing a reread of that. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because there's a movie coming out, I think, right?
Well, it's already out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the Songbirds and Snakes one. Yeah. But we will go ahead and round this up, since, I mean, we just keep talking forever. Tara and I do that, And if you want to listen to it, check out the podcast. I believe I linked it in this, since we were talking about it. And yeah, we just planned the rest of year 2 before we went live. So I'm excited about those. And yeah, but I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday. Thanks for coming to this random reading sprints if you did. And yeah, we'll see you again soon.
Bye, guys.